Responding across all of our platforms, Victoria Nyinasa said, yes, I did mine yesterday, and the process was very smooth at MTN office, PZ Kumasi. All you need is your unique code. Now, that's a code that you generate online with your Ghana card details. Francis Nyako said, not yet. My Ghana card is not ready since last year, so I have not re registered. Theo Kwe says, yes, with my unique code, it was very smooth at the Airtel Tigo head office in Adabraka. I spent only 10 minutes. It's in their great foresight, Airtel Tigo has mounted a canopy purposely and exclusively for the biometric registration. I later went to the MTN office only to be told that their system was down. Kwesi Ose Tutu tweets, he says, it was easy for me because I used the short code *404# to get my unique code and was at MTN office as early as 7 a.m. on Monday, the 4th of October, to capture my biodata, biometric information. Vodafone is yet to capture subscribers' biometric data as at 12th of October. At Ato Amache, Sam says, registered all my 3 SIMs in less than 20 minutes, but a lot of education needed to be done to create more awareness. At @IAM_banner GH is the last one I'll read. It says the SIM card registration is a good idea, but going back to the telcos to have your fingerprints and picture taken is a waste of time. The Ghana card already has our biometrics, so why do telcos take it again while they can just pull the data from NIA? #JoySMS. All right, so I think most of our respondents have not found it impossible to do this. They've actually, some of them have found it quite smooth, have been able to do it quite quickly. 10 minutes, 20 minutes for somebody with 3 SIM cards, So the process is not, it seems to be going well for some people. There are others who complain of queues, long queues, inconvenience. Somebody said he took a half of his working day to get this done. And for many of us, I can't afford half of my day, for anything, especially for something that is so important, so essential for all of us. How can you function without your phone? How can you function without your SIM card? So today I'm very happy that Mrs. Bedu is here with us. Nana Defi Bedu is the Director of Consumer and Corporate Affairs at the NCA. Thank you for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so maybe we'll just lay the foundation. Walk us through the NCA's role in this national project.
Okay, thank you for having me here this morning. To walk you through the NCA's role, simply, I'm sure you do know that the NCA is a regulator for the telecommunications industry in Ghana. And as a regulator, we have a mandate to ensure certain key things within the industry. One of those being regulating the telecommunications service providers, regulating the service they provide to people, and all other, I would say, related links or services that are linked to this service that we've given them a license to provide.
Okay.
One of the important things is a SIM card, because it is by the SIM card or through the SIM card through which you'll be able to use the service that we have licensed the provider to provide to people. And so we found it necessary to embark on a SIM registration project. The NCA is a lead player in this project. We're working under the direction or the supervision of the Ministry of Communications and Digitalization. We have key stakeholders, the MNOs, National Identification Authority. We have Registrar General's Department and all the other key players, including the subscribers themselves in this project. So that, I would say, is the NCA's role.
Okay. Now, the process as we understand it, first you get a Ghana card. So for some people, that's already done. But for those who haven't gone, first you get a Ghana card. Then you go online and enter some details from your Ghana card. that will generate a unique code for you. You take that unique code along with your Ghana Post GPS address, and take it to your telco, who will then use that information and also take your biometric data, and with that, register your SIM. Let me correct that. Re-register your SIM. What's the problem we're trying to solve with this process?
Okay, so let me take you back to the very first national SIM registration exercise we did. That was in 2010, 2011. If you recall, at that time, people or subscribers were asked to register their SIM cards using some IDs, including the passport, voter's ID, and then the driving license, right? What the process was then was that you would go with your ID to an agent or your mobile network customer care shop, and then they would take the details and then they would register you. Now the process evolved such that the agents could register people on the streets. I mean, agents of the MNOs could register people on the streets. And gradually we found out that there was no verification. So I could take your ID card. If I were an agent, I could take your ID card and register for SIMs in your name without my knowledge. And then I would use this SIM card for crime or for fraudulent activities. There was no way of checking the IDs after you had done that registration to make sure that that ID even belonged to the person who had used it to register that SIM card. So one of the key challenges we're trying to solve with this registration process is to make sure that we actually verify that that Ghana card you have used to do that link, when you do the *404, that Ghana card belongs to you as an individual and you are the bona fide owner of that Ghana card. We believe this will resolve and solve or mitigate all those issues regarding using wrong SIMs to register SIM cards and all that. Another thing we're also trying to do here is we're also trying to support government's digitalization agenda. If you've realized that government is actually going through a lot of e-government projects and a lot of access to these e-government services is by the use of a SIM card. How do we create a safe system or a safe network, infrastructure to make sure that all these service provisions are credible and can be trusted? In addition, even the private people, private services and all that. I'm sure since the COVID began, we've had a lot of people using communication services for their businesses. We need to be able to build a database where people can trust. If you go on social media, you hear a lot of scammers and all that. There's no way to trace them. One of the key, or let me say two key stakeholders who really are happy with what we are doing are the mobile money agents, because this can really reduce the fraud within that space. And even when the banking industry, people using people's SIM cards to go and commit some sort of fraud and all that. So it's a whole mix of issues that we are trying to resolve here.
So, assuming this all goes through and everybody gets registered, who will have access to that data that's being collected?
Okay. So once you register with your service provider, definitely your service provider will have access to the information that you sent to them when you did a *404. So they would have your name, your Ghana card, PIN, and that unique code on their database. Even before we started the registration process, your service provider had your registration details. Now we look at the second part of the exercise. That second part of the exercise where we take your Ghana card, your biometrics, doesn't go to the telco. It goes to a server, which is at the NITA, National Information Technology Agency, which goes to NITA. Even the first part of the exercise, your *404, that information is also stored on a central SIM register, which is also kept at NITA. And just like other ID agencies which have your details like the passport, the driving license, SNIT and all this information that will be on that server, on those servers at NITA, will be secured with the relevant security and cybersecurity protocols to make sure that there are no data breaches.
Okay, but that information is there for a purpose. So, what is the purpose? Which institutions will be able to use that data?
Okay, so that access to the data will be highly restricted. Already, the law, the SIM registration regulation law states that you can only provide the mobile network operators can only provide access to subscribers' data on the provision of a court order, and that will be the same regulatory framework that will apply to that server. So, if a security agency needs to be able to trace somebody, get details on a particular SIM card, they would have to produce a court order before that information is given to them.
Okay. As I understand things today, if you needed any data held by a telco,
Yes.
that's the process. You
That's
need
the
a court
process.
order, and then the telco will release the information provided you have a court order.
Yeah.
If NITA now holds that information, NITA, of course, being a state agency, how sure are we that if police, another state agency, needs data on a citizen and they go to NITA, that NITA will insist on a court order before providing that information to?
Yes, all the relevant data protection regulations will be followed. We have our information with a host of government agencies, and I'm not sure that we hear people complaining about the police or security agencies going to DVLA, going to SNATE, going to the passport to pull out people's information just like that. No.
Well, I mean,
The-
do we know that it happens or not?
No, but we haven't heard it. So how can we just assume that this happens or this will even happen? And it's the same government agency that is holding this information, and the same relevant data protection rules will apply to this. And not only the data protection rules, but rules or regulations covering the SIM registration and access to data of subscribers.
Okay, I suppose the question I was trying to get an answer from NCA on is whether we know for a fact that state institutions like NITA will follow this law. You make the point that we don't know. We haven't heard that they've broken such a law, but we don't know whether they break it or not. We have no way of knowing unless we're there. But how does the NCA ensure that this information that they are causing the whole nation to provide will actually not be abused?
The information will not be abused. NITA definitely follows government protocols and all the regulatory framework. And so we can assure subscribers and listeners on this program that this information will be kept secure, and access to it will only be on the provision of a court order.
All right. Let's get back to the process, and we'll be taking lots of questions very soon about the
Definitely.
process. So you explained the problem we're trying to solve, and you talked about what was happening in the past. People would go to, these mobile agents with your passport or ID, or even someone else's passport or ID, and register a SIM card, which could then be used for crime. We had all kinds of crime being caused with people using SIM cards that cannot be traced to proper owners. So to solve that problem, we are now re-registering them in a way that is easier for us to identify the owner of each SIM. Which means that we are now not using the mobile vendors. We're going to go straight to the telcos to register the SIM cards.
Let me just come in here. So, in order not to create a lot of congestion, queues, like people are complaining about now, the mobile network operators actually will be rolling out this to their agents. The plan is to have the agents also do the second part of the registration so that it is covered out easily by people. So it is not just the customer care centers where I would say subscribers have to go there to do the registration. This will also solve issues of the aged, disabled people having to go there and verify that, yes, indeed, I'm the true owner of this Ghana card. Once it's done, is rolled out to the agents are mobile and they move about easily, so it will be easy for people to do that. We're happy that there's a lot of interest in this, and people have shown this interest by going all the way to the mobile network operators. But this is a 6-month exercise, and we urge people to, yes, be interested and make sure that their SIMs are registered. But there is time, and then it will be rolled out so that you don't have to go and face these queues, especially within this era of the COVID as well.
So in the past, people would be able to go to an agent with someone else's ID and register a SIM. How are we stopping that in this process?
Okay, I mentioned earlier on that there was no verification process, right? When they when they do the registration, there was no way of checking to see whether this ID was even valid. Now the first stage gives you a unique code which links that ID to a special unique code and to the SIM card. And it is these three sets of information, these three data sets, that will be used in the second phase together with your picture and your Ghana card. So that in itself actually takes away a whole chunk of the what would you say, the issue of people even trying to use somebody's card and doing
Right.
some kind of fake registration.
Okay.
Again, in the first time we did a SIM registration exercise, because there was no verification process, people would say, I'm using a passport, and give some fake ID numbers. There was no way of checking. But now, if you do not use your actual Ghana card PIN, you would not be able to register together with your name, your date of birth, and other information as well.
Okay. What stops me from taking DJ Wubeti's verified number after he has gone through the process and got the number? What stops me from taking that and going to a mobile vendor and saying, here's my PIN, and registering my SIM card?
Taking his unique code, or his Ghana
unique
PIN.
code.
Taking his unique code with your SIM card, because that unique code is tied to his SIM card and his Ghana card now, so you would not be able to use it.
So the code that is generated online,
yes,
it's linked to your SIM card.
It's
the
linked
minute
to
you
your
generate
SIM
it.
card and your Ghana card.
Right.
Yeah.
So why do I then have to go to a vendor if it's already linked?
It is linked, but we have not verified that it is indeed Kojo who owns this Ghana card, who did this. And so we want to be sure. That's why we have that second layer.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I just a quick follow-up on just this one? So if I'm registering up to 10 SIM cards, would I be using the same Unicode?
No, you will not be using the same unique code. Each SIM card would generate a unique code, if I may say it that way. So each SIM card will have its own unique code, but tied to your Ghana card.
Okay. Why the Ghana card? Why not my passport, for example? Why can I not generate a unique code with my passport or driver's license?
Yes. If you have gone through the SIM regulations, the LI 2006, you'd realize that in that regulations we had actually listed a number of IDs. Well, so that was what was used for the SIM registration then. Then in 20, it's categorically clear that the Ghana card should be used for regulations, and making sure that the Ghana card is what is being used for the SIM registration project now.
So that law made it illegal, basically, for me to register a SIM with my passport. Or my
Yes,
driver's
in
license,
a
my
sense.
voter's ID.
In a sense.
Okay. Why though? Why did we decide to do that?
Why did we decide?
Yeah.
So that the National Identity Authority would be best placed to answer this. But I can just probably chip in something small and say that if you go through the NI regulations, right, it states the purpose for a citizen of the country, and then it states the mandatory use or the purpose of the card. So we travel, you may not have a passport. If you don't want to drive, you may not have a driver's license. If you, yes, irrespective of whatever they want to do in their own private lives.
Okay. All right. So once you've to do the verification to make sure you are the one who owns that SIM, so that's where they will actually look at your.
Okay, so they collect the biometric data, and the biometric data is not stored with a telco like I mentioned earlier on. It's the device that is used to collect the biometric data as we can put it in the terms of maybe a vehicle, right? To collect information here, transport that information, and go and put it on a server somewhere. So that information is the need to be able to check. We'll have that database to check. And in fact, that
What will you be
database,
checking?
if there's a need for us to be able to, how do you call it? Check if somebody has committed crime, has done something, your biometrics are there. What we are doing now, this data actually is supposed to hit the NI database and indeed verify that Kojo, who did the first stage, who's done the second stage, is indeed the owner of that ID card and is indeed that person whose biometrics match the biometrics that were taken during the rollout of the Ghana card.
So we are giving our biometric data to our telcos, who will then transmit
we are not
it.
giving your biometric data to your telcos.
Okay.
Your telcos do not have the biometric data. There is a vehicle through which you put your data and it is transferred to a server somewhere. So your telco at any point in time does not have your biometric data.
And that server is a NITA server,
That
as you
server
explained
is
earlier.
a NITA server,
Okay.
which would also be linked to the NIA database.
Now, you explained earlier that the reason why we are all using the Ghana card is because the NIA Act made it mandatory for the Ghana card to be the only ID used for registering SIMs.
Yes.
Now, the NIA Act also says that the NIA is the only institution mandated by law to collect and manage biometric data of Ghanaian citizens. So this process is sending our biometric data to NITA when the NIA has already collected our biometric data to give us a Ghana card. Are we not breaking that NIA law?
No, I don't think we are breaking the NIA law.
But it says they are the only institution mandated.
Okay.
So, in fact, SNIT cannot collect and manage our biometric data. Neither can Electoral Commission or any of the institutions who, even churches sometimes collect biometric data. It's all supposed to be illegal according to the NIA Act. So why is this process collecting our biometric data?
So just like you mentioned, other government institutions are collecting biometric information.
In breach of the law?
I don't think that it is in breach of the law. I think it goes to even strengthen the NIA work in itself. I think recently you would realize that NIA is actually linking up with government institutions that have done that to link all that database. So wherever there is an initiative that has been taken, we try to find a way to be able to make sure that we meet that objective that maybe the NIA or government institution is supposed to meet. We are not breaking the law. We are making sure that we are able to do the SIM registration, verify people, make sure that that data can be checked against the NIA database so that we can have a credible SIM register.
Okay. What happens to... Because now the only way to get your SIM registered is with a Ghana card.
Yes.
Oh, and by the way, please get your questions ready. We'll be opening the lines soon so you can have your issues resolved. So, yeah, back to the question. So, what happens to foreigners or people visiting the country for a short time? Can they not get SIM cards?
Yes, foreigners can get SIM cards.
They can or can't?
They
Sorry.
can.
They can.
Foreigners can get SIM
Okay.
cards. So let me give you the two categories of foreigners that we have here. We have visiting foreigners and then we have resident foreigners. For resident foreigners, these are people stayed over 90 days. They are required to get resident permits. In addition, they are also required to get a non-citizen Ghana card, which is issued by the National Identification Authority,
Okay.
and that they can use to register their SIM cards.
Okay.
For visiting foreigners, the exception is made for them to be able to use their passports or their travel documents, which will be checked by the mobile service provider. So foreigners can actually access or register SIM cards for their use.
Okay.
The only hitch is that with visiting foreigners, your SIM card will only be activated for a 30-day period.
After 30 days, your SIM
After
card will
30
be
days,
deactivated.
it will be deactivated.
So if you're staying for, let's say, 70 days,
If you're staying for 70 days,
you have to keep getting new SIM cards.
well, we've also given directives to the mobile network providers to make sure that we don't keep re-registering people with the same passport or travel documents to, as it were, sidestep the SIM registration.
Yeah, so what would this person do? If
This
they want
person will have to
for-
see their mobile network provider
Mhm.
and prove maybe they have some kind of extension.
Right.
Yes. And then the service provider will probably seek clarity from the NCA as to whether they extend or whether they issue a new SIM card out for the person.
Right. Do you not anticipate that this will happen often enough for you to have a standard protocol? You want them to consult you in each case?
We actually have a standard protocol, but the directive we're working it says 30 days, and we do know that a lot of the time the visitors that come here are within that range. We are looking at maybe an extension, but this will be discussed with the MNOs and the standard protocol.
Right.
be issued.
Okay, how about people who visit Ghana often for business and each time stay for shorter than 90 days? New SIM each visit?
New SIM each visit.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sure you have questions, and we will take them when we come back from these messages. Don't forget, it's the Super Morning Show. Our guest, Mrs. Nana Defi Bedu. She's the Director for Consumer and Corporate Affairs at the NCA. Stay with us. We're back after these.
Let's see if you can solve this.
Okay.
It's a home with over 100 rooms and has space for everyone.
I don't know.
What about you? Can you answer this? Stay tuned. Something big is coming.
Everyone knows to make the best of anything, you need the best of everything. That's why I always choose Texas Star Long Grain American rice for all my rice dishes. Unlike rice from Asia, Texas Star American rice has a great fragrance, fluffy texture, separate extra long grains, and an absolutely great taste. Whether it's jollof rice, wache, fried rice, or even plain rice, Texas Star American rice will not just leave your meals tasting absolutely delicious, but also looking scrumptious. Texas Star Long Grain American rice. It's not just rice, it's American rice. For wholesale purchases, call 0541 811 556. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
My name is Kwame Sefakain. You see, the feeling is always good when you receive a salary alert. And so, I'm making a bold decision to invest a lump sum into the Old Mutual retirement salary. This means I'll get these alerts every month and throughout my retirement period. Life should be comfortable, even after retirement too.
Me feel ahotonkwa.
Invest a lump sum today in the Old Mutual retirement salary and enjoy guaranteed monthly income for life, funeral cover, and the option of signing on with a spouse. Please call Old Mutual today, 050-453-4333. Old Mutual, 176 years of doing great things.
Do great things.
Hey, Bra Kofi, your ceiling be smooth, bright and fine, Papa.
That's an understatement. It dey blink like 80 carats white gold. This be interface plasterboard ceilings. Smooth, bright, and long-lasting. Everybody where they come here, they fill up. Where they direct them go Interface Limited for world-class quality.
If you're involved in new property development, renovation, or decoration, the right place for you is Interface Limited. Call us on 0274 999999 or visit our website at
www.interfacelimited.net. Facebook, Interface Limited GH. Instagram, interface.limited.
Once again, Malcolm, your number one stop-shop supermarket, is getting bigger, better, and super mega.
Great news here. Now with over 40,000 items under one roof ranging from electronics, homeware,
kitchenware, furniture, home decor.
electricals, supermarkets, and groceries.
all these at one shop.
Oh yeah, you heard right.
Your shopping experience just got really better.
Malcolm, your number one stop shop supermarket for all your daily needs.
Terms and conditions apply.
Malcolm, where Ghana shops.
We know you better than they do. We cushioned you in the heat of the COVID pandemic when you needed us most. It is now time to help you take care of your post-COVID needs. From June to December 2021, your biggest and largest bank, GCB, is cushioning salaried customers with a special personal loan package. Access up to 200,000 Ghana cedis at a slashed interest rate. Enjoy a 2-month repayment holiday. Take up to 5 years to repay. Top up your existing loan at absolutely no fee. Let us make life comfortable for you. Apply for the GCB personal loan today and take care of your urgent needs. Remember, terms and conditions apply. GCB, your bank for life.
Why do you allow coughs, cold, and flu to ruin your happiness? You need Summerlin cough syrup. Summerlin cough syrup will relieve you and your family from coughs, cold, and flu. Summerlin offers a whole range that provide relief for the entire family. Insist on your Summerlin in pharmacies and licensed chemical shops. Summerlin cough syrup from Danex Itin Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Good morning. Wake up to the original magazine show. The Super Morning Show.
Welcome back. It's the Super Morning Show on Joy, and today we're getting to the bottom of this whole process of re-registering our SIMs. Our guest, Mrs. Nana Defi Bedu, is the Director for Consumer and Corporate Affairs at the NCA. Of course, NCA being one of the big stakeholders in this process, and so we're learning a lot about why we're doing a lot of these things, why it's important for us to re-register our SIMs and the processes that we have to go through in order to get it right. You've been sending a few of your messages through. In a moment, we'll open the phone lines. I'm just going to read this one from James, who says, I just went to the MTN office at Osu to get a SIM card for my son. They claim their systems have been down since Monday and are still not back on. I probed further to find out why. After a few calls I made, I was told because of the SIM registration, they have a challenge, so they cannot add on new customers or SIMs. Well, this is the report of a customer. We certainly are interested in finding out from MTN if indeed
the regulator
that
is
the case.
here.
The regulator is here. Do you know of any such problem?
I am actually surprised because MTN is actually registering new subscribers with a new SIM registration process. So I'm actually I'm actually surprised. The figures we get from MTN do indicate that they have actually started new SIM registrations with this process.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, James, there's the response. According to the regulator, they are not aware of any such issue, and MTN is indeed registering new customers. All right. Mamodi has a question, but let's open the phone lines first. 0302. Actually, hold your horses. Don't dial just yet. A bit of information from our partners, and then we'll get straight to the phone lines. And let me tell you first about ABSA. You know, you don't have to queue to watch a movie these days. You just have it streamed onto your screen in your living room. You don't have to have to go to the mall these days. You can shop online and have it delivered to your doorstep. Now, what if you could do the same with your banking? Meet Abby, your 24/7 digital banking service from ABSA. Now, whether it's making inquiries, paying a friend, buying airtime, or checking your balance, just ask Abby to do it for you. Add Abby on WhatsApp. The number is 050-164-4644. That's Africanacity. That's ABSA. Terms and conditions apply. Just go to absa.com.gh.
Now, becoming a homeowner has been made easier with Sethi Realty. With a starting price of as low as 220,000 Ghana cedis, you'll have an opportunity of owning a 2 or 3 bedroom home to yourself. Sethi Realty is offering a whopping 50% discount on selected units of its properties located in Tema Community 25, close to the Palace Mall. This offer comes with a 24-hour security, potable drinking water, backup system, and anything to really make you comfort assured. Remember, prices start from as low as 220,000 Ghana cedis, and you are a landlord. So call them today, 0551 435 555 or 0551 438 888, or visit their website nyamidriagh.com. Remember, limited number of units available and prices are subject to change without prior notice. Terms and conditions apply.
All right. Now, Mama V, of course, because of your Range Rover, you don't use these ride apps, do you? You know, like these Uber. No, I mean, you are beyond that. But I'll tell you what, if you ever find yourself in a position where, you've lent your Range Rover to me for the weekend.
Are you saying you're buying me one of you've ordered, or
what are you saying?
You're dreaming for me?
If I ever borrow your Range Rover and you are stranded somewhere, Bobo app is what I recommend for you. It's finally in Ghana.
I actually have Bobo already.
You have it, eh? There you go. Then you can tell everyone how affordable it is. This is the most affordable in Ghana right now. And of course, you can use it to order food. You can book airlines and vacations. You can also use Bobo to request over 30 different services at home, all from your Bobo Super app. This one there, even when your Range Rover is parked in the driveway, you can use this part of the app. So invite 20 friends today to use the Bobo app and share 200 Ghana cedis with them on the app. Bobo takes no commission from drivers, so you keep 100% of your sales if you drive for them. No other app offers this except Bobo. Download Bobo app today from the Play Store and App Store now, even if you have a Range Rover. Bobo, the app they be.
Now, the Ghana Revenue Authority, the GRA, wishes to remind all withholding tax agents, including VAT withholding agents appointed by the Commission General, that withholding taxes must be paid to the Domestic Tax Revenue Division of the GRA by the 15th of every month. Withholding taxes for September 2021 would therefore be due by 15th October 2021. Withholding taxes, including withholding on VAT deducted from suppliers operating the VAT standard rate scheme, which is 12.5%, employment, payment for the supply or use of goods, payments for the supply of any works, and payments for the supply of services, and all other withheld taxes for September 2021 are due by 15th October 2021. Taxpayers are to submit hard and soft copies of schedules indicating gross amount, the tax deducted, and name or names of taxpayer or payers from whom the taxes were withheld. Taxpayers are also to note that in line with the GRA cashless policy, both check and cash payments should be made at any of the 22 designated banks, the Ghana.gov platform, or via USSD code *222#. Please note that failure to pay tax by due date attracts an interest of 125% of the statutory rates, compounded monthly on the outstanding tax. Please also note that the third checks require 2 days to clear. The GRA can be reached by email on info@gra.gov.gh or by WhatsApp on 0552 990 000 and 0553 280 229. So remember to pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future. Very important notice coming from the Ghana Revenue Authority. So you can join our conversation now by calling us on 0302 216 541 and 055 1111997. That's also a number that you can send us a WhatsApp message on. But Edward sends me a question. Edward says, is there a special arrangement for Ghanaians serving in Ghana's missions abroad?
Okay, thank you, Edward, for that question. Yes, we will be coming out with modalities for Ghanaians who are serving abroad. We've had a number of issues or questions from Ghanaians on peacekeeping missions and Ghanaians in foreign missions abroad. So we'll be coming out with those modalities.
All right, let's take some calls. Here's Kezia from Dansuman. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. So I would like to seek some clarification. The message you read out stated that the person was refused registration. I had the same experience last week where my mother had a problem with her SIM card, so wanted a new SIM from the MTN office. And she was told that she couldn't use a national ID card for that. So she said, fair enough. Now I want to re-register the SIM that has a problem. And they tell her that for that she can use her national ID, but the system is down. So I'm not too sure of what exactly the protocols are for all these telcos and which is the right one to follow. Thank you.
Thank you, Kezia. We'll get you clarity on that. Emmanuel is in Accra. Hello, Emmanuel. Good morning.
Hello, Kujo. How are you?
Not bad at all, my brother. Yourself?
Kujo? Yeah, I'm a civil servant. And then there was this directive that we need to use the NI card to register for our payroll, as well as the SIM card. Myself, I don't have this document. Please. Yesterday, it was said that you can come for a premium of 250 Ghana cedis for the card. I don't have. Please, I am around Polygon. Where can I go for a registration of the NIA card so that I could be able to fill this project? Thank you.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Jeff is in Accra. Hi, Jeff. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, Jeff. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Wonderful. What's your question?
Yeah, please. I've registered for my Ghana card last year at Adabraka YWCA. And since then, I don't know where to pick my card. We were told that when we did the card, we couldn't get it. But we were told that they will open office in Adabraka. Ever since last year, I've been going up and down. They've been tossing me, go to Registrar General, go to Suprote. I can't get my card. Please, where can I get my card?
Okay. Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for calling. John is on the line. John, where are you calling us from?
I'm Rich, please.
Okay, John, what's your question?
About this man, I registered my SIM. That was plastic. But I didn't get a code. So I thought the registration wasn't successful. Then a week later, I said, oh, because I didn't receive the code, let me retry. Only for them to give me a message that, oh, it is successful, and that I should go to my circle. Could you believe that Monday I went to MTN, they said the system is down. Yesterday I went there, they said the system is down. Why are they doing this to fellow Ghanaians?
Which telco is this, John?
MTN.
Okay.
I went there Monday, I went there yesterday. They are telling me the system is down. I just take time off duty, drive there, and they tell me the system is down. What is going on? Why are Ghanaians like that?
Huh? Thank you, John. We'll see if we can get you an answer. It's similar to another question we had. Let's take one more question and see if we can deal with them before we come for more. Davidson is in Ashaman.
Hello.
Hello, Davidson. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Okojo.
What's your question, my brother?
Yeah, my question is about this directive from the Controller and Accountant General yesterday evening. There was this circular on social media that by 1st of December, if you are not on the Ghana or you don't have the Ghana ID card, that you will not be paid. I work with the Ghana Education Service. I tried registering severally, but the lines at the various offices are actually uncalled for, and I don't know how. We are in the middle of October, and the information is that by 1st December, if you are not enrolled on the Ghana ID card, then you will not be paid and those things. So I don't know how feasible it's going to be for those of us at the public sector who are not yet on the GC, on the Ghana ID card. So I want an answer from the lady who is speaking over there. How can they make the system very easy for us? Or even if they can send maybe some of their registration officers to our education offices or any public set offices so that we can all go and then do the registration. Because the number at the various 30-something centers that they have created, it's not easy at all. So my plea. Thank you.
Thank you, Davidson. Thanks for calling. All right. So I'm wondering whether you are actually able to help with the issues that have to do with the national ID card? If you can, please go ahead.
Yes, what I can advise people who have issues with their national ID card is especially if you've registered and you haven't got your national ID card, please call their hotline on 0242 438 615. That is 0242 438 615. And National Identification Authority will be opening up their district offices by the end of the month. That's what they've informed us. So we are sure that by then, for those who registered their cards, all these cards have been taken to the district offices, and once it is open, you'll be able to get your card. So please call NIA, find out where exactly is, tell them where you registered, which district you registered, and they'll tell you where the district office will be, so that at the end of the month when it's open, you can pick your card up.
Okay, that's helpful. All right, there were a few other issues. Kezia from Dansuman says that she was also refused SIM registration. She was told her mother was trying to register a new SIM at MTN. She was told that she can't use the national ID to do that. But when her mother wanted to resolve an old SIM issue or re-register an old SIM, she was told, yes, you can do that with your national ID card, but system is down.
Yes, Kezia, I'm very sorry you went through that experience. We will engage with the MTN to find out what is happening. MTN, interestingly, has been a very supportive partner and is actually registering a lot of people. I'm sure there may be a few teething problems, but I don't expect that we will have this much level of issues that subscribers will go through. So we'll liaise up with MTN and find out what the issue is.
But as things stand, MTN has not made any report to the regulator of any issue that would stop them from either, one, registering new SIMs, or two, continuing with the re-registration of existing SIMs.
No. We've been engaging with MTN. MTN is registering new SIMs with this SIM registration procedure.
Okay.
Where MTN or any other service provider has issues regarding the SIM registration, they actually call us and they make us aware. And so the issues that come up, we work with NIA, we work with the MNOs to find out the best way to resolve this. But with regards to problems with new SIM registrations, we haven't had this.
Not reported any such thing. Okay. All right. Emmanuel is in Kolegono. He was one of those who was asking about getting the NIA card. He referenced the directive from government to register for the Control and Accountant General's purposes. So the advice you gave earlier would go to him as well.
Yes, and referencing the conversation we had a bit earlier before we went on break, NIA will get there. They've been a tremendous partner. They will get there. They will be liaising with all the relevant government agencies to make sure that they are able to link and then get all the relevant information. So they will get there.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus, Kojo, a few things we learned yesterday from the National Identification Authority. So they have 34 outlets now. They are GRA offices. So for Emmanuel, you mentioned Kolegono. If you can identify a GRA office, you can attempt registering there. And for the person who said the premium service, which is $250, that's not the only option. Is if you want to avoid the long queues, then you can go to their office for this.
So it's an option, not the only option. Then there was John in Ridge, who was quite upset. He said that he got a message after several days that his the electronic stage of his registration process was successful. He got the code, but then he went to MTN and was told the system is down. So I guess he falls into the same category.
So we will engage our service providers on this, and just to prompt our subscribers. You know, we have a code for checking to see the status of your registration, the *400#. So anytime you do the 404 to link your Ghana card to the SIM card, dial *400, *400#. It will tell you the status of your registration.
Is it *404 or 4004?
So there are two short codes here. To do the SIM registration, the first stage is a *404#.
Okay.
Yes. If you have done that registration and you want to access your unique code and also see the status of your registration at any time, dial *400 hash, and then it will give you your name, your unique code, which you get after doing the 404, and then it tells you the status of your registration.
Okay. Here's a question. I know we have to go back to the phone lines, but TK Nadenta says, can Ghanaians less than 15 years be able to register SIM in their names, especially as they may not have Ghana card?
Okay, so you know the Ghana card is actually supposed to be rolled out to all Ghanaians. But with the mass registration, NIA actually started by doing registration from 15 years upwards. So this same registration has actually an age limit. To address the issues of people using the SIM cards for educational purposes, amongst other users, we gave a directive that the SIM card, you can register for a SIM card when you are 15 years and above, because we are sure that those people in that age bracket, right, have the National Identification Authority. So if you have a child below 15 years, as a parent, you can register for a SIM card and then let your children use it.
All right. There are some more questions on Twitter. At OB42 says, please, must the name you use to register your SIM card tally with the name on your Ghana card before the short code will be sent to you? I have been doing it for a very long time, but I don't get any special code message.
Okay, this is extremely important. What we've realized is that people are capturing their name as they think or want their name to be. But when you are entering your name into the USSD, when you do the star 404, it has to be the name as captured on your Ghana card and in the order. So if you have a middle names and you have, let's say, Yao Mensa Poku as captured on the Ghana card, don't put in Poku Mensa Yao. You need to put in the right order, Yao Mensa Poku, and make sure that it matches what is on your Ghana card. We're also having some problems from people who have changed their names, like married women. They key in their new names after they've changed it without using the name on the Ghana card. If you want to change the name on the Ghana card, I'm sure NIA may have told you, you need to do an affidavit, gazette it and take it there, and then they'll give you a new card. But until you have done that, you need to actually enter your name as captured on the Ghana card.
All right. Gidi Choma also on Twitter says, how do I recover my unique ID? I accidentally deleted it.
Okay, it's not a problem. I just tried it here. If you do a star 400 hash, you will get your name, you will get your unique code, and then because I have done the biometric capture, it says BCAP, yes.
Okay.
So star 400 hash will always give you your unique code and the status of your registration.
At Bone GH says, please ask the NC official that those who are in deprived areas, how will they get access to a merchant to complete the process of the registration? Okay, says folded hands, hashtag join SMS. Okay.
Okay, as I said earlier on, this process will be rolled out by the MNOs to their agents, and the agents are mobile. So the same way their agents are able to go to the agents, do their mobile money transactions, register SIM cards and all that, they will be able to do that. You don't necessarily have to move to a big town and go to an MNO office. This will be rolled out by the MNOs in due course.
All right. Solomon Teji says, I have 2 MTN SIM cards. One was very successful while registering with a short code, but the other is not going through. What will be the possible cause?
Okay, I am not sure. It may be possible that one of the SIM cards probably could have been a pre-registered SIM card. I don't know. But let me take this opportunity to talk about pre-registered SIM cards. If you have a pre-registered SIM card, because it is not in your name, if you do the 404, you will have a mismatch and it will not work. So what you will do is that for some MNOs, they will give you a short code where you would answer some security questions to make sure that you are exactly the owner of that SIM card and you have used the SIM card for yourself. They want to prove ownership of the SIM card. So you go through some security procedures. With the gentleman who just asked a question about his second MTN card not going through, I'd advise him to wait and try again. If there's a problem with him not owning the SIM card, he will definitely have to go through the security questions.
Okay. All right. So you can call us again, 0302 216541. and 055-1111-997. In the meantime, here's another one from Majida Lee. Says, can't the taking of the biometric features be open to many centers like we did for EC instead of limiting to the various offices?
A quick one though. You gave a number for those who want to, an NIA hotline.
Yes.
Can you repeat that, please?
That is 0242 438 615.
So 0242 438 615.
Yes.
There we go. Thank you very much for that.
Okay. The gentleman who
just before you answer that, Jackson is in Cape Coast. He joins us. Good morning, Jackson.
Morning, Mama. Lucky, me for.
Me follow how far?
Akba mauta ma for me we don mauna yuan.
Amen.
Yeah, Kojo, good morning. Sorry
Good morning, F4 Jackson of Cape Coast. Hey.
Kojo, please,
Yes,
I want to ask the madam that I hope this is the end of registration of SIM in Ghana.
Okay.
Yes, because Kojo, you are saying something, registration of SIM. I don't know. Sometimes when I think about all these things, I don't know what to say. Yeah, we are going to do the registration, but I hope this will be the end. Nobody will come back and tell us that he thinks that driving license or national health insurance card will be better than a Ghana card. They should think about that small. We beg them. May God help this nation. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Brother Jackson. Let's talk to Freddie in Accra. Hi, Freddie. Good morning.
Good morning, Kojo. Yes, I have two quick questions. The first one is, if the SIM was registered for you by someone, and you are either of age or, let's say it's a company number, but now it has been assigned to you. First, you will go to the telcos. They will tell you, come with a letter. Now you go with a letter. They say, the person should come with a letter with ID card and a whole lot of processes. So can they quickly, can you just come and then with your own ID and then register? And the second one has to do with, is there any possibility that in a very now or near future, one will be able to know the number of SIMs and networks the person might have used his ID card to register for?
Okay, all right. So
thank you very much.
Thank you, Freddie. So two questions I'm getting here. If, for example, a SIM was registered by someone else on your behalf and you now want to register it in your name, can that be done? The second question, we'll get answers later. I just want to clarify. The second question is about what kind of data you'll be able to gather on a person from the information gathered. Can you tell how many SIMs one person has registered in their name? Let's talk to Selassie in Akachi. Hi, Selassie. Good morning.
Good morning. Please, I entered my ID, my Ghana card ID, and I was told invalid ID.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm confused.
You want to know how to solve that problem? Okay,
Yes,
Selassie.
sir.
Keep listening. We'll get you an answer shortly. Isaac is in Accra. Hi, Isaac. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's your question?
I went to MTN. I live at Showman. I went at your branch about 8 o'clock. They say their system off. And then I forward to Medina. When they see the cloud, the number up to 100, they say the system is down. So I went with two issues. My line, and there's another line I registered and give it to my daughter. And my daughter was not in the country, she just arrived. So I want to go with her so that we register the both SIM before she go back. I went, they said the system is down. We were there. I want to reactivate the car because she is not around using the car often. Later, before, when people left with about 25 people, they start the processing. Then mine was registered because I did it on phone. For my daughter's phone, the reactivation, they reactivate the line. We get to somewhere, it was broke again. And later, when I went to register. It was a whole hell. 3 days after, before they send me a message that I've swapped the chip to my daughter. So I had to follow that process too. Now my daughter too has left.
Right.
So because the SIM is with her. And now how do I register the SIM before her come?
Okay, we'll see if we can get some clarity for you on the process you are describing. Let's take one more call. Nelly is in Adenta. Hi, Nelly.
Hi, Kojo. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
I have two issues. With the national identification card, when you go to the bank and you give that to them, they tell you that their systems have not been updated to receive that. But now we are being told to use that to register the same. My second issue too has to do with Vodafone. You try and then the USSD tells you that it's not working. You are not able to even start the first process to move to the next one. I went to their office and they are telling me that they will take my details manually, and then I'll have to come back when they are ready for the biometric data collection.
Which office did you go to?
Also,
Okay. Thank you, Nelly. All right, so we've got 5 callers there. I want to add just one more because this relates to something you said earlier, and somebody is seeking clarity. So this one, you explained that the name that you put into the system when you go through the USSD process, the name should be in the same order. So your first name should be in the same order as it is on the national ID card. You should use the same surname that you used on the national ID card. If you've married since you got your national ID card, still use the name that you have on your national ID card. So this text just came in from James again. He says, my wife used her maiden name to get her SIM card years ago. She now has her marriage name on the Ghana card. The network operator says the current name on her SIM does not match the Ghana card, so she cannot re-register it. So let's add that to our questions, but let's start with Jackson in Cape Coast. And his question was that he hopes this is the last time we are going to be told we must re-register our SIMs.
Yes, for Jackson, the government has actually embarked on only one SIM registration exercise, and this was in 2010-2011, and it's taken us roughly say about a decade, 10 years to do this registration again. And the reason why this registration has actually delayed was that we needed to make sure that we had quite a number of people who had national ID cards. As I mentioned earlier on, at what time, or do we wait for every Ghanaian to own a national ID card before we start a registration at the cost of fraud, at the cost of crime, at the cost of our own digitalization process? So we had to start somewhere. But we are pretty much sure, we are very, very sure that because we have a 2-layer or 2-stage SIM registration process, think of it like a 2-factor authentication system. We are very much sure that this will be the last registration exercise that we are doing, because we are using the national ID card, which has so much information on an individual, and then we are sure that we are able to verify the people. So this will be the last registration exercise.
But I also hope that we're mindful of the fact that this will not be a foolproof of error.
Definitely. I mean, with everything, there is a margin of error. And so for this, we do know that the error of margin would be very, very limited because of the system or the registration process that we are using.
So can I ask this just as a follow-up? How about, does this mean that now that every SIM will be registered to a name, this apps like Truecaller will be able to identify every number?
Okay, so you see the way Truecaller works. Actually, some people would argue that Truecaller is actually some form of invasion of privacy, because once you install the Truecaller app on your phone, and Truecaller is not, they are not based in Ghana. You install the app on your phone, you actually give Truecaller the permission to harvest all the contact on your phone to the Truecaller database. So that is individual subscribers who have actually subscribed to the Truecaller who is doing that. It has nothing to do with the government and nothing to do with our SIM register database, no. So if you have my number on your phone and you have subscribed to Truecaller, it pulls that information onto Truecaller. And so anybody who searches for that number will get the name of the person whose number is on Truecaller. Yeah.
So that app is actually making use of people's contact lists.
Yes.
It's nothing to do with this
Yes.
registration process.
Yes, and then let me take this opportunity to just advise or people to be very mindful of the apps they install on their phones and check the permissions, especially if it's asking you for a host of permissions to access certain sensitive data on your phone.
Freddie in Accra wanted to know if, for example, he has a SIM that was originally registered by one person, is now in his hands, and he wants to register it in his name, or maybe originally registered by a company, and now is his, and he wants to register it in his name.
Okay, so this is like what I talked about earlier on, the issue of pre-registered SIM cards. You would have to go through a security process with your mobile network provider to make sure that that SIM belongs to you and that they don't register somebody's SIM in your name. It's very important. Now for business SIM cards, the process is slightly different for business registrations with regards to SIM cards. For business registrations, they will be required to go to their mobile network operators with their business registration documents. The MNO will then verify from Registrar General whether this is a validly owned business. If it is, then they give a check to the company. And because the law says that every SIM should be registered with a Ghana card, the MNO will then ask the business to bring the name of a listed director of the company or the business entity. And then all those business SIMs will be linked to that person. In the event of the need for us to be able to trace somebody who used a SIM for something else. But here, let me just clarify again too that business registrations don't have a limit with regards to SIM ownership. They can register as many SIMs as they want. But because we are able to make sure that the business is validly registered, it is tied to a Ghana card of a director, we will be able to trace who had the SIM and who used it for what, if there's a need.
Okay. Selassie has been getting an invalid ID message when she tries to go through the process.
Okay. So Selassie, I've already talked about the need for you to make sure that your names are captured as it appears on your Ghana card. Also, let me just talk about the Ghana card PIN too, when people are entering it. What we've realized from some people who call us is that they leave out the GHA at the beginning of the Ghana card PIN. It is part of your Ghana card PIN. So you key in the GHA and the 10 figures that follow. You key everything in without a hyphen, and you key in your names in that order. Please try that. If you still have a problem with that, then you may probably need to go to the NIA to resolve it.
Okay. Isaac, now he has a problem to do with his daughter's SIM. It sounded a bit complicated. I don't know if you understood his issue.
Let me just thank Isaac for showing so much interest in the SIM registration and moving from, is it Adenta or Ashongman, all the way to Medina to go and make sure that the SIM is registered. Thank you so much for your interest. Now, let me just let people know that when you register a SIM card, it doesn't belong to you forever and ever. So if you registered a SIM card and you have not used a SIM for 90 days, it is no longer an active SIM. So that number will be put back. It's called churn. It's put back into the pool of numbers that the MTN or the MNO, Vodafone or whoever can then churn it out to a different subscriber. Think of numbers as a resource for the country. And these resources have been leased or given to the MNO for some particular time. So if you are not using the number will be churned after 90 days. So the fact that you have registered your SIM card does not mean that you will own the number forever and ever.
Right. Nelly in Adenta, now she says that, she's confused. Banks are saying that their systems are not updated to recognize the national identity card, but she's being asked to use it to register with her telco. She went to Vodafone, and they are telling her that the thing is not working. She went to USU, and they took her details manually and told her they'll call her back when they are able to go through the process electronically.
Okay, so again, let me just say that NIA is actually doing their best to make sure that they link up with all the relevant institutions with regards to their mandate. They are on course. They've done a lot of work with SNIT and NHIA. They are working with the NCA right now to make sure that SIM cards are registered. It will take time, but it will get there.
Right.
So there'll be a point in time where I'm sure all the bank accounts will be linked to NI cards and all that. On the issue of Vodafone, the 404 not working, I'd like to advise or plead with subscribers and listeners to this show to please call the NC and let us know when this is happening. We have a toll-free number 0800 110 622. As a consumer, you have the right to complain to us. If you don't complain to us, we will not know what is going on and be able to address the issues. So let me repeat the toll-free number again, 0800 110 622. But I will take up the issue of the Vodafone and then find out what exactly it is.
All right. Now, the text message I got from the gentleman who says that he was told, his wife was told that she cannot register her new SIM with the name she gave to NIA because her SIM is originally registered in her maiden name.
Her SIM is originally registered with her maiden name. I think I talked about it earlier on. Because earlier on she had a different name from the name that is on her Ghana card. What the MNOs are doing is to make sure that they reduce the possibility of people using similar names to register SIM cards which really do not belong to them. So she would need to go through the security process with the MNO and answer certain questions which will prove that yes, she is indeed the owner of that SIM card.
MNO obviously is mobile.
Is a mobile network operator.
I actually have a similar situation, but I have been told what to do.
Okay.
Come with the gazettes so that they can make the changes there to reflect what I have on my ID card now.
Okay. Yeah. So that means if you simply want to use your national ID card to register a SIM which was not registered in the name you've just given to National Identification Authority, you will have to reconcile that.
You would have to
before
reconcile
the process can go ahead. Okay.
We have some Twitter questions that we haven't dealt with, the biometric features, but there's another one which is linked. So if I may, at alternate_ego says, if the biometrics will go to NITA and they already have access to the Ghana card, why have us go through the stress once again? Someone is not thinking through. I don't know if you got that.
Okay. So again, this second stage is extremely necessary for us to make sure that you are the person who owns that Ghana card and you are the person who used the Ghana card to register for the SIM. So sorry you are going through the stress, as you call it, but at the end of it, this will be a very good initiative for all of us.
And then there was the Majid Ali question of why not have many centers like the EC did for their exercise, so that it will be much easier for everyone.
Okay, I've already explained that the MNOs will be rolling this out to their agents, and so you will not really have the need to go all the way to the mobile network shops to go and do the registration.
Okay, so at _Chifewa says, I'm a Ghanaian with a Ghana card. I have moved to the UK recently where I still roam my SIM card. What happens to it?
I mentioned earlier on that we'll be coming out with modalities for that, for Ghanaians who are outside. Yeah.
So this is something that actually I'll let you give me a bit of clarity on this, and then we'll come to that question which is outstanding about the number of SIMs a person can register in their name. But this is just a quest for clarity, okay? There are many people who are using SIM cards today that were registered in other people's names. they want to know what is the process they have to go through in order to re-register the SIM in their name.
So that is one of the key things that I've talked about today. The issue of pre-registered SIM cards. Every mobile network operator will have to make sure that yes, you are indeed the person, the bona fide user of that particular SIM card. So you will have to go through the security process with the mobile network operators. Some of them may call you, some of them too may ask you to use a short code and answer certain questions related to the use of that SIM card and to prove to them that yes, you are the owner of the SIM card. In some cases, some subscribers are even using SIM cards that belong to their deceased relatives. In that case, you may even it may even go to the extent where you'd even have to provide a letter of administration to the mobile network provider to show that yes, indeed, this SIM card used to belong to maybe a deceased relative or whoever it was, and then I want to be able to register it in my name. So that process will have to go through.
Right, interesting. Now you talked about how numbers get reassigned if you don't use them for 90 days.
Yes.
So when that happens, so for instance, someone has gone to register a SIM using the old system, which is porous and unreliable, and has gone to register a SIM at some place and not followed the protocols, but is using it. But that number happens to be one that was recycled. Will it still be in the name of the original person?
When that number was changed, like
Yes,
recycled,
churned,
and then given, okay, assuming you used a number, and you didn't use it over a period of time,
Yes.
it's been changed, and the MNO has assigned it, and I'm the one now using it.
Yes.
If I have registered it, or I use the old system to register it, it is in my name, so I would have to use the Ghana card to re-register it in my name.
Right. There's no way it will still be connected to
No,
the original.
because the number has been changed and has now been reassigned to a new subscriber.
Okay. There are lots and lots of questions coming in. I don't know if we have time for more calls, but we do have some more messages, don't we? Do we? Or have we gone through them all? Excellent. All right. So perhaps we'll take a few more calls, shall we? Or we'll take some messages. Okay. We have time for 2 calls. Thank you, Sammy. Thank you very much. We'll take 2 more calls. So you know the numbers 0302 216 541 or 055 1111 997.
Here's
All right.
some. Some says if you have registered for the Ghana card and the day of collection they said your card is not in use or is not in, so you have to go to their main office to do follow-up. Are you going to pay when you get to the office for the follow-up? Because I heard you will pay 30 Ghana cedis before you collect your card. Okay, so if I remember correctly, you don't pay anything for this. It's if your card is missing and they have to replace it. If anything requires reprinting the card, that's where you make some payments.
Yes.
All right. Elikem is in Tema. Hi, Elikem. Good morning.
Good morning.
So what's your
I just want
question?
to find out, I registered with a SIM card with 2 names. But during the Ghana card, I added my other name to it, making 3 names. So would that be possible?
Okay. You added one more name when you were getting your Ghana card.
Yes.
But when you got your SIM,
It was only 2 names I
only
used.
2 names. So what will happen? Okay, we'll get you an answer. Thank you, Elikem. Daniel is in Sotium. Daniel, good morning.
Hello, good morning. I hope you are fine.
I'm there for you, my brother.
Amavi,
Elfo?
how are you?
Oh, very well, thank you. Thanks for asking.
We thank God. So, in fact, now we don't trust our people again, our leaders. We don't trust them anymore again, whatever they say. I will even not be surprised. The lady who have come there, Slauso have even warned her to watch out how he will talk on Joy FM. Seriously, you ask.
Why do you
I will
say
not be
that?
surprised.
Why do you
Now
say
my
that?
question is, why Ghana card, but not voters ID card? Now the second question is, why is it that when we are going to do the Ghana card, they are taking money at the GIA before they do the Ghana card for you? Meanwhile, if it is really a Ghana card, then it's supposed to be free. So why are they taking money over there? when you are going to do Ghana card. So it's two questions. But we don't believe them. We don't trust them again. Both the MPP and NDC, we don't trust them. That one there is a fact. Kojo, thank you.
Thank you, my brother Daniel. All right, we have our two callers there. Let's deal with them. Elikem wants to know about the 2-name, 3-name.
Yes. So Elikam, it's possible that you may have a mismatch when you do this star 404, and if you have the mismatch, your service provider will probably take you through the security process. And if you go through the security process and it doesn't work, you probably may have to engage or contact the NIA. But I'm sure that once you do the 404, and because you have different names, you will go through the security process for us to be able to make sure that you are indeed the owner of the card. Do I go to the second question?
Yes, please, Daniel.
As the communications minister warned you.
Yes, Daniel. Honorable Esla hasn't hasn't spoken to me. I don't remember the last time I even spoke to me. Please trust us. Please trust us. Earlier on, I talked about the need for us to use the Ghana card because that is what the law mandates now. So the previous era where we used to use the passport, voters, driving license, that era is over now. That's why we have to use the Ghana card. And NIA is not charging for the Ghana card if you are going to register for the Ghana card for the first time. It's when you are going for a replacement because it's lost, because you've changed your name, that you will only pay, and it's 30 cedis. But if you want the premium service, it's 250 at the head office.
Is it because I have a mismatch? That's why I get the error performing requests when I do the 404.
It is most likely so.
Okay. I have a couple of messages here. The first one says, Kojo, I don't understand your guest's response to the NITA question. If NITA is holding the NIA data, why must I give biometrics to NITA again for my SIM card? This one says, your in-law is visiting for 120 days. Immigration issues a 120-day visa, and a SIM registering agency can only register a SIM card to use for 30 days. Come on, how? All right, so we have these two to wrap up.
All right, NITA is not holding NIA's database. Please, let's clarify that.
Okay.
All I'm saying is that the SIM registration process is a process where the second stage, where the biometrics are collected and put in a server to cross-check or verify against the NIA database at their own sites. Now, the issue on the foreigner registration, the duration, yes, within the next couple of weeks or so, you will be hearing from us on that.
Right. Just to clarify, this is a message from the head of corporate affairs at NITA. He says, NITA is government's agency responsible for regulating ICT and the custodian of government agencies' data. As such, NITA provides the facility, the National Data Center with racks, and the conducive environment to store their service, which can be accessed by the respective agency only. The NCA server, therefore, can only be accessed by officials of NCA through stringent security protocols. So is this going to the NCA's server at NITA, or is it going to the NIA's server at NITA, this biometric data that we are providing?
Okay, like I explained earlier on, NIA have their own data in their own place where they have the Ghana card information.
Right.
This information goes to, I'm sure you know about the Executive Instrument 6.3, where the Minister for Communications and Digitalization was actually mandated by the President to set up a central SIM register. So this information goes into the central SIM register. That is the stage 1 information. And again, the stage 2 biometric information is also put in a different server to cross-match against NIA's server.
So I guess that's where the problem is, because I think we've already established that the NIA is the only institution mandated by law to gather and process our biometric data. And by the time we come to our telco to give them this data that NCA...
We are not giving the biometric data to the telco. Let me please clarify this. This
that's not what I said.
No, you said we are giving, by the time we give this information to the telco, the information is not being given to the telco. It is being, how do I, as it were to say, it's being driven to a server. So at no stage does this information stay with the telco.
Thank you for the correction. So the data goes to NITA, and it is held in the NCA servers at NITA?
Yes.
All right. So my question remains. If the law says only the NIA can hold our biometric data, and the NIA has its own arrangement for that, its own service, and they have already collected my biometric data, why am I giving my biometric data to the NCA again at the end of this SIM registration process?
To cross-check the biometrics that were taken by the NIA. And at the end of this information, this data is kept secured as mentioned by NITA here.
So why don't you just have machines at the telcos where I can provide my biometric data, and it will cross-check it against the NIA database rather than gathering?
I think we talked about this earlier on, that there's a stage in time when we have to do the SIM registration exercise. We cannot wait until NIA is everywhere before we do this. Let's talk about the issue of the lady talking about the bank, and the issue of NIA even now linking up with the various institutions that have already collected biometric information and are linking up and syncing all that information. So this is just one of that process.
But Mrs. Bedu, by the time I get to that stage of the process, I have given my biometric data to NIA. That's the only way I can get to that stage of the process.
And so there's a link to make sure that that information is synced. It's the same thing that NIA is doing with SNITs. It's the same thing that NIA is doing with NHIS. And it's a government institution. And so we have to make sure that this is done to be able to secure our SIM database.
Okay, I feel like our time is running out. I feel like this is something that we ought to explore further, but we don't have the time to do it right now. We have to move on. I want to say a big thank you, because you have really dealt with a lot of the issues that have come up. Mrs. Nana Defi Bedu.
Nana Difie Bedu.
Difie, forgive me. Difie, right?
Yes.
It's my first time coming across that name. Nana Difie Bedu is the Director for Consumer and Corporate Affairs at the NIA. It's the Super Morning Show. We've got more after these.
What would you do if you have the choice to do anything in life? Build your dream house, take very good care of your family, and plan for a comfortable retirement. Plan a befitting funeral for your loved ones when they depart. How would you live if you knew there was a friend waiting to support you on all of your life's choices?
You have such a friend in Glyco Life Insurance. Glyco Life has all the plans to meet your life's needs: your child's education, your life savings, your mortgage, funerals, redundancy, and your retirement, and takes the burden off your shoulders. So go ahead and live life to the fullest today with Glyco Life Insurance plans. And remember that all our policies are hedged against inflation. Talk to Glyco Life on 0302 218 500 or 246 142. Also visit our website at www.glycolife.com or any of our branches nationwide for more information.
Glycolife, we cushion you for life.
Glyco, we cushion you for life.
Putting up or replacing a roof is not just laying the panels, it's a complete engineered system. And at Roofings and Steel Gunner Limited, we understand